Yo, what's up? It's the People's Rapper John Connor, and you checking in with my man Conrad and everything pro wrestling. Y'all know what it is. Blue City Club, you know.
What's going on, everybody? This is Jesse Carter over at the Pro Wrestling Shoot. The Pro Wrestling Shoot is a podcast that can be found on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Every single Wednesday before AEW Dynamite, we dive into some of your favorite current day wrestling, as well as some old school stuff. We can also be found over on YouTube and Twitch, where we post exclusive video, whether it be content for video games, or wrestling news, or short clips, or even live streams. Come check us out and subscribe to the Pro Wrestling Shoot over on YouTube and Twitch. And if you want to find us on our social medias, it's at the Pro Wrestling Shoot on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok, and over on Twitter at TPWS Podcast. The Pro Wrestling Shoot is not only just a podcast, we are also an independent company when it comes to audio engineering and graphics designs, as well as voiceovers. So come and follow us over on our social medias and check us out every single Wednesday over on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify.
Derek's been ducking. I told y'all I wanted that smoking fight forever, and the man's been ducking me. I have to go out. I have to ask people to jump in when he's not here. For some reason, he's somewhere in the state of Ohio right now. Do you believe him? Me either. He's ducking. That's all you need to know. Quack, quack, Derek. Time to pay up. Folks, welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. I'm your host, Conrad Cushman, being joined tonight by the one, the only, BJ.
How's it going? What a show.
It's going. We're going to be talking about this Blood and Guts show tonight for July 19th, 2023. Lots to talk about and get into when it comes to this. I've got thoughts. I'm sure BJ has thoughts. In the chat, I'm sure you have thoughts. Fan interaction is appreciated. Sharing this, giving out a nice retweet. And I actually don't think I sent this out on Twitter, so I'm going to do that right now. And when we handle business, make sure you guys are out here in the street showing some love. Like I said, retweet, tell a friend, tell whomever. Let's get this podcast jumping. And we're going to get into all of your stuff. But let's get into this intro. And we're going to talk a lot of pro wrestling happening this week. Let's go.
Everything pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast here for the people. The best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin, the opinion and the lesson. Yes, everyday pro wrestling, they can never be you.
And it feels so good to be back. BJ, first, thank you, my brother, for filling in here for Derek on short notice, too, at that. But much appreciated, my friend.
Glad to help. I like to be able to help out and be a part when I can, man. And stars just aligned right.
BJ, I'm gonna need that hate shirt real soon from you though. Like,
all right,
we need it. Derek's player haters ball, whatever we're gonna call this, it's got to go down. It's got to go down. To those in the live chat, like I said, we say this all the time in YouTube videos. It doesn't mean much, but it does to me. Like, comment, subscribe helps in the YouTube algorithm. You guys know all that mess and all that mumbo jumbo. Comments afterwards are always appreciated as well, not just to boost up the algorithm, but also I want to hear what you thought of the show. Like, tell me, what other podcast host is asking you for your thoughts? Not many. So get in here. Come on, show us some love, and we'll get into this. First, we'll do our shout outs here real quick. Big shout out to Terrell saying, dang, Dax told TK next time to play their music and not MJF's. They are the tag champs. Great show so far. He was just getting into it. Did someone say dance party? They did. B-Boy Skyline in the house. What's good? Why does the camera keep cutting away from the Golden Lovers? Who do I have to yell at in production? I think that's just a pro wrestling problem in general. Maybe this is Kevin Dunn-isms that you're never going to be able to get away from in wrestling. I don't know. Any comment on the production, BJ, tonight?
Oh, I have a few different things, but I think I kind of just want to do it as we flow into the matches as they happen.
Okay. More to come on that from BJ.
Mm-hmm.
More to come. Let's see here. I am checking. I am looking. You got one time for the one time. Since I can't do it, I just check SoundPad again. I have to update this, and I have to remember to update it when I'm not recording a show. But one time for Derek. Anytime we can get to it. Eric Douglas said this is the most fun that he's had watching wrestling in a while. Dance Party was great. Then the match itself. Yes, we'll get into all of this. Matt Lopez says, good evening. What's good, Matt? Deanna in the house. Hello, Deanna. How are you? Hope things are well. McKinney in the house. Yo, I'm here to drop a like and listen to the baddest podcast in the land for wrestling content, EPW. Tell me about AEW Blood and Guts, kind sirs. Let's go. Let's see here. What the funk? What is good, fellas? Says, what's up? Appreciate you. Original Biggie watching on Twitch. Says, good evening, EPW. Good evening, BJ in chat. Let's see here. What up, CJ and BJ? Everyone loves a cowboy hat. By God. Now you're on the holiday list. Positively E puts up the ducks. Juke, where's Derek and that steak, egg, and cheese bagel? Juke, he's been ducking, bro. He's been ducking. I'm just talking my mess, man. So you know I got to get it in. Ace, what's good? What's good? Matt, don't tell me that, please. I'll bring it up. Bring that up afterwards, the after the match stuff. Daniel Garcia near Sammy's junk. Hey, that's how he gets down. That's how he gets down. And this is why everyone loves a BJ. That's a fact. Ed Fry's in the chat. What is going on, Ed? Much appreciated. James from the Pro Wrestling Shoot, L2K. I love that BJ has like moving graphics right now. I love it. Conrad, don't play well. You know what? I can't right now. I have to do some configuration. Grill Master said, what up, my dude? Did you holler at my boy about 90210? My, what's good? What's good, Grill Master? Connor in the house. Hello, fellas. It's been a minute. What's up, Connor? Hope things are good. Listen, I'm trying to get everyone's stuff in. I appreciate you guys. We're going to try and get all this in. We're going to talk about this. I'm trying to promote some of these other shows. Don't forget, if you're going to watch on Friday, we've got Royal Rampage, Battle Royal, 2 rings. I liked this last year a lot. That was the match that Brody King won where he, I don't know what you want to call it. He had Darby in like a hangman sleeper and just dropped him. I loved it. I thought it was great.
Took him out.
Lots going on with this show. And lots going on in the world of AEW. We will get into this show. Trust me, there's only a couple matches to get into. We've got All In coming up. We also have All Out coming up. Chicago is getting shown lots and lots of love for pro wrestling. You know how AEW does. When they say they're taking over Chicago, they really take over Chicago. So make sure you guys are on everything happening in the world of AEW. BJ, how do you feel about this pay-per-view thing? We didn't really get into this too much. I was hoping I could have some talk about it on this. The rumor of 2 pay-per-views happening in the span of a week sounds crazy. This is rumor, by the way, not fact.
Right. So when I first heard them announce it, I was thinking like, these are like back to back. How are we going to do this? I was thinking All In was going to be like a free event, or something that like streaming, like on Max or something like that. And it just like, there's been no word, no announcement, and now we're hearing that it might be back-to-back pay-per-views. If you don't offer it in a bundle and you want people to pay full price for both, I think that's a really bad idea with them being so close. Also, I don't know how this affects your card. With All In, when it was first announced and they wanted to be like a true spiritual successor and stuff, I thought that they should be like bringing in people from different promotions and kind of like the love of indie wrestling, but now that became AEW essentially from the first one. So stuff like that, and then have All Out be more traditional AEW style pay-per-view. But I don't think that's going to happen at this so far from what we've seen, minus maybe 1 or 2 matches. And so that worries me a little bit too, with it being back-to-back. But yeah, I really thought, oh, this is going to be like announcing a streaming deal. And their first one, you're going to be able to see if you're subscribed to this service, and All Out will be like the last pay-per-view before it becomes like a streaming thing. And we're not getting any of that. So I'm just kind of, I don't know. It's one of those start to sweat around the collar moments for AEW. Like, what kind of decisions are you all making here? So,
dude, listen, I've got an even better thing to ask. Why can't it be shown on TNT or TBS in the middle of the day? What are you... This is, I'm cracking up at this. What are you doing that's so important at 1 p.m.? What are we going to watch? Guardians of the Galaxy 2 for the 21st time? Like, come on. Come on.
What was the other one that they keep showing right before is the Denzel movie?
It could be John Q. Listen, they show the same stuff over and over again. Star Wars, whatever it may be. And I get it that those things make money for them, but what are we... You have options for people. Don't make people pay twice.
Yeah.
It's got to come in a bundle, like you said.
Yeah, has to.
I don't know. I don't know. Deanna said not buying either pay-per-view. Ooh, that's rough. Particular reason, Deanna, or just not paying for both? Because we still don't know what's actually happening. Nothing's officially been announced. Somebody said really Rampage. I hope that's not spoilers. All In, I feel like it should be on Max as a test for the service. It sounds like they're not ready though for it. So I don't think they want a Netflix situation where they had like Netflix try to do live service and then it didn't work. And then they got the nerve to tell you like they want to charge you more for stuff. And it's like, come on, bro. Your live streaming service doesn't work.
Right.
Who are you talking to? So interesting. It's going to be interesting. We'll be up on it. Chad, what's good? What up, Chad and BJ? My favorite match of the night were the Blood and Guts and the Britt Baker match. Oh, Deanna said money. Yeah. BJ, what do you think's a fair price?
So normally both of one pay-per-view is $50, just about, minus some tax, $49.99, something like that. I would say if you're wanting people to buy both, I'd charge maybe like 70.
I think so. Like 50 for one and then 20 for the other one. Like I think you really should lower how much All In's gonna be.
Yeah.
So that way you can get maximum.
Or it's lowering what All Out's gonna be, in fairness, since All In's the special. They've made their money off of All In already though. Like
somebody said free 99.
They're about to sell out Wembley, you know?
Yeah. Renegade L2K said, I feel like TK is holding it up. Once the monthly pay-per-views happen, I think Max Stream service happens. I don't know. Rob, I don't know what that's for. I feel like Max might strike a deal like the NFL package deal on YouTube TV for like 300-ish. See, I can see AEW still wanting people to pay for the pay-per-views because the moment you go to that WWE brand, no one's ever going to pay for your pay-per-views again. They're just not going to. Gonna be rough. We'll keep up on this, and I'm sure you'll hear BJ's thoughts in the chat as well when it comes to this. It's gonna be very interesting. Oh wait, we're not getting into this yet because guess what? We got to talk a little bit of Ring of Honor. This pay-per-view card has been built. Yikes, in my opinion. It's been a rough one, Beej, right? Like we got some matches, but
this is some WCW level stuff.
Well, to be fair, they have had a lot of bumps though too. Like 2 injuries to your main event, like how that should never happen to anybody. That's just bad luck.
I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt on this, because how many matches did we have outside the main event, like prepared and announced 2 weeks ago? 0.
None. Well, if you've been watching, I think you knew. So you got Athena versus Willow Nightingale, which if you don't have a main event for the guys, this is my main event. If I'm picking, like, just let them main event. Shibata versus Daniel Garcia has been teased, I think, heavily throughout.
But
so
I'm gonna be a little bit critical here. Like, I'm glad Ring of Honor is going. I haven't been paying for the subscription service to watch it just because I haven't felt the need to yet, even though I'm like glad it's still going, and I catch up with things that are happening through like Twitter and YouTube and stuff like that. But my biggest complaint on this is there are tons of people like I'm super in on wrestling stuff, so like I'm trying to keep up with it. I'm not the casual fan by any means. If you're trying to get people who maybe haven't seen Ring of Honor or maybe know of Ring of Honor but don't know what's going on, and they're like, oh, I'm not paying the subscription service, but I'll order your pay-per-views because I know it's owned by AEW, all that kind of stuff. You've had nothing to advertise. And that's a problem. You, as you said, you had to have been watching each week. You could see what was going on. But that means you
honestly,
had to be paid.
hold on. To be fair, this match I only knew because of the New Japan build. You knew that this is what it was leading to.
Yeah.
And they've been teasing it for a while. So that's why I was like, okay, I can kind of see this one. This one, I'm guessing it's going to be Shane Taylor, but we don't know who's the winner yet. But Dalton Castle or Shane Taylor will challenge Samoa Joe for the ROH Television Championship. And Joe's someone you need to make sure you have on Collision or Dynamite every week.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you can, when he's available, you got to get Joe on those cards. So this is the toss-up between them. And we're getting a 4-way tag match. Do I think this match is going to be good? Absolutely. But like you said, it's the lack of build that kind of hurts it a little bit.
Like, I'm going to say it this way. Like, I was watching weekly Ring of Honor before AEW came along. I was invested in Ring of Honor. So to see that, like, Taven and, like, Dalton aren't, like, being advertised, being features. They were both former Ring of Honor world champions.
Yeah.
And you know, that's not about the pay-per-view. That's about the product in general, like my partiality. But like, it's true. Like, Shane Taylor, I know it was like more towards the pandemic and stuff, but he got the TV title. He was doing good things. And then like they just stopped. And I don't understand why.
TK did get it too when they were like trying to do like the whole, okay, we're not going to have contracts except for a couple guys, and then we were going to try and so he lost all the contracts, then he had to get them all back. It's been a rough go for them, and I think Ring of Honor's business model is not good either. I think the YouTube, like, if I pay for Honor Club, I should get the pay-per-views. That's just how I feel with it.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
Yeah, so. Let's go to see what everyone else is saying here. Six says TK not careful. He's going to be a few bad decision ways from Dark Side of the Ring, the rise and fall of AEW YouTube documentary. I don't think he's not messing up that bad yet.
No, not.
Listen, hold on. I've been telling people this, and I swear to you, I'm not lying about this. I've been watching WCW 99, random nitros and pay-per-views, everything. I'm trying to figure out where this all went wrong, from the Figure Poke of Doom all the way, and I'm into Russo era right now. I'm in like Fall Brawl of 99. This is bad. I got lost in the feuds.
Now, is Fall Brawl 99? I might be thinking about that, or I might be thinking of Spring Stampede. I can't remember which one was the Fatal 4-Way that had like Sting, Hogan, Macho Man, Sting, Hogan, DDP, and Flair, and Macho Man was a rep.
That was the 4-Way, I think, at Spring Stampede.
Okay. Was that
I'm
99?
confused at this point. Yes, I just finished Road Wild and I just started Fall Brawl. Apparently Kevin Nash is retired. We all know that's a lie, though. You know what I mean? Like it's just I'm not ready to compare TK to the rise and fall of AEW yet, is what I'm saying.
No, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that was happening in WCW at that time that is nowhere near where any company is with their talent and
I'll
their
tell you
booking.
this. Last match I watched, Hugh Morris and Brian Knobbs beat Shane Douglas and Dean Malenko. Which one of these sounds like it shouldn't be happening on shows? I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Grillmaster says $9.99 is the price. UFC still makes you pay full price on ESPN Plus. I could see AEW trying to go to something like that more so. I think they want to get rid of BR Live. I think they're just that app it's just not working.
Mm-mm.
Let me see here. People are saying I saw something Jade might retire. I haven't seen anything recently about that. I saw her say I think she's just on break right now. We'll let her rock and do her thing. Matt says ROH card is shaping up nicely, but build's been messed up. Yeah, I heard some people calling it like Ring of Honor 8 is like equals AEW Dark recently. I haven't been watching though, so I can't say that. Tokyo the Menace says FROH. Yikes. Too many services wanting too much money. Yeah, there's a lot of people with their hands out. They need to seriously have some on creative better book TK, let someone else help work on it. I think he should let whoever he thinks would be a good booker or someone who he would trust the company in if he's not around, let them book Ring of Honor for now and see what they do. TK needs help when it comes to ROH, but injuries have hurt the card, but lack of star power is killing the brand. I think it might be time to close shop up until Warner Brothers Discovery buys in. They started Collision, bro. You didn't need Collision if you had Ring of Honor. You could have had two separate brands with separate championships if that's what you wanted to do. They didn't do that.
Yeah.
Tells a lot, in my opinion. Let me see here. 6 said, I'm glad it's still around, but I ain't paying a monthly sub for it. I agree. Yep. Let's see. Sunny Bimbo. Hi, gang of everything pro wrestling. Boston crowd was great. I'm very happy with the show tonight. Bring Anna Jay into the Jack and Hook matches. Maybe Anna Jay could join. I think that makes more sense for her to do than being in the JAS right now. Lucha Bros need to drop their tag titles. BJ, please, ain't nobody want to see Taven featured. Let's not act like ROH didn't kill all their momentum with that super show.
Listen, hold on. So first and foremost, you weren't going to have Jay Lethal retain. And as much as I was a huge fan of the person who we all thought at the time should have won, it's better in hindsight that he didn't win. And I was a huge Taven fan, even though I was a fan of the other mentioned party, and I was not unhappy with the result. There were things about that show I was unhappy with, but that triple threat was not it.
I remember being disappointed by the match, but I also did predict another person we shall not speak of on here. I did predict them.
I thought it was their time. I do believe that it was, but
and I thought they were going to be the NWA champion too.
Yep, me too. But
yeah,
we didn't see where we were going to be in 5 years.
Our ROH needs to go away. Man, rough out here for ROH. BJ, should ROH be a developmental brand, or do you think ROH needs to still kind of try to stand on its own?
ROH needs to be a hybrid. It needs to be what Triple H's NXT was when they were trying to compete with AEW. And I know we gave them enough problems because you're like, you've got new guys here and you've got established indie names and we need a balance. But you have so many people on AEW that could bleed over to Ring of Honor and then have the new names as well in the undercard matches, that it would make more sense than what NXT was trying to do. they were having people who should have been on main roster. So I
Right.
think if they made it a hybrid show where you had guys who were established on top, but these up-and-comers working your six-mans, working your TV title and getting, you know, surprise shots weekly and stuff like that, like getting entered in tournaments, that kind of thing, then it works out. But yeah.
Let me just let Juke know. Juke, I see your comment. I cannot say that though, due to the new commercials that you see on the videos. I cannot say that on here in good conscience. So thank you for the compliment though. Rob definitely said BJ and Donnie supporting Taven. Man, Donnie and BJ, the only two people I've heard speak. Yeah, Matt Taven title ring was good, bro. Stop it.
Hey man, him and Jay Lethal, Broadway. Like, I ain't mad at it. I am mad at it. Like,
he says, I like Collision, but there are people complaining about ROH even watching it. Or are they the same people that complain about ROH matches and titles on AEW TV? I mean, that is true. They went away, and I think he's just like, let us have this and stay in our own lane here. We'll fix it when we can. It's also been one bad buildup. Like, let's pump the brakes and not act like the other shows weren't good, too, that TK's
oh,
produced.
yeah.
Yeah, I see people talk about Dominic Mysterio. I'll save that for Monday's show. Trust me. We'll get into some of that. Didn't know you could win the title there again, too. But here's our card for tonight for Blood and Guts. We're 25 minutes in. We're finally going to talk about this show. Let's start with the opening contest, shall we? It was for the FTW Championship. You had Hook defending his title against Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Ooh-wee in this one. Ooh-wee. So Jungle Boy's music hits. I thought people would still pop for it, and they knew that. So then Jack Perry comes out to Beethoven's Symphony. Is it number 5? Did I say that right? I think that's what it's called.
I think so.
Dog, what are we doing here? What are we doing here with all of this? What's going on?
We need to unravel Jack Perry a little bit more instead of what we've been given with this new heel to get that Hollywood Jack Perry. He should be coming out to like Mozart. Like, let's make it some other let's make it some like other like very lavish Hollywood 80s pop song instead of, you know, something that like people don't want to sing.
Oh, and they did show Jungle Boy. He like buried the gimmick right in the desert. Was that what it was? Okay, I walked away from it and I had someone describing it to me, and they described it very poorly. So they were like, "He's in a car. He's like burying something," and I'm like, "What?" I had him having flashbacks to WCW, Ric Flair in the desert. What's going on?
Oh no.
Oh man. So he comes out. Hook does his usual thing. Jungle Boy's trying to get a jump on things. Blah 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 blah. I could get into this. We don't need to go blow for blow. We know Hook is kicking ass in this whole thing. He's doing T-bones off the apron. Jungle Boy's making him look like $1 million, right? Yep. Ref bump, of course. And there's the title belt around. Jungle Boy uses the belt to knock Hook out and steal the FTW Championship. As an ECW fan, when I was a kid, this hurts. This hurts a lot.
He is instantly the worst FTW champion for what it represents. And man, I don't know. Like the Jack Perry thing, it still feels partially frozen. Like we haven't thawed this out enough yet. And even in the match, like I thought maybe we'd get a little bit more in the match. Nope. It all just still felt the same way. So that's why I said it needs to unravel. We need to see what the layers are. But right now they're not showing any, and that's concerning because that's not going to help. Now, I will say there's one thing if they want to go back to it. Harebrained idea, months down the road, possibility. He becomes a henchman for MJF because he used MJF's low blow, like the kick while distracting the ref, to low blow hook.
So I'm not going to disagree with you there. I feel like they've booked themselves into a corner here right now with this feud. This feud should be something they should try to weasel away from, in my opinion. Why would you continue to do this feud? So you've got Hook, who's been undefeated. He's been on this streak. You got to have someone lose. Hook losing is fine. I have no issue with that.
Right.
But now, if you're going to continue this feud, Jungle Boy needs the momentum, but I also think you need to remind people like, well, this is Hook, and this is what Hook does. Hook is a tough SOB. This is the guy. I don't know. I don't know if this is the right move. Well, this will have to take the wait and see approach from me, but I feel like this feud's far from over, and I feel like this is going to be the end of the FTW title as well. I don't know if you feel the same way. I see Jungle Boy either running it over with a car, burning it. He's going to do something to this title.
Well, he was on this crusade to get singles championship gold in AEW, and now he's done it, but it's not officially recognized. So does he go with the route of when he realizes it's not officially recognized, he destroys it, or does he change the FTW belt to the Hollywood title?
It's Hollywood. They dropped the ball with music suddenly. TK's gotten cheap. I don't think TK's gotten cheap. I think TK thought he was being clever here, but it wasn't. It wasn't though. That's how I feel at least. Let's see here. Terrell says, could Jack be reuniting with Christian Luchasaurus? To me, that's a step backwards if you do that. It just shows he never had it in the first place, and everything you did before that was meaningless. NXT stretched their creative when they went 2 hours, and they still stretched overwork and underpaying performing. But hey, Vince likes his predatory business practices more than, I don't know, like pleasing the fans. Let Ruckus do Jungle Boy's music. Yeah, I think I hope we get something better from it. I don't know why we're going with this like royalty type of theme. Not it for me. I don't know how you feel, but yeah, I'm not feeling it.
I think maybe it's transitional.
I'm hoping so as well.
Yeah, I really hope so.
Now, Alex Marvez is up next, and can I say this, BJ? I mean this in the politest way. Alex Marvez always like comes off as the biggest booger, like where he just shows up and you're just like, oh, dude, what a dork. You know how they used to treat Kevin Kelly in the Attitude Era? Like that's him, man. Like, what are you doing, bro? Put the t-shirt over your face. Like, we don't want to hear from you. And he's like, guys, I'm here trying to get a scoop. Come on with me. Why does he get cameramen to follow him? Like, or camera people? Like, he doesn't need all this paparazzi doing this stuff for him, but whatever. He catches Jericho and Don Callis having dinner, and they kind of stop and they go away from it. Then you get Adam Cole and MJF, and they're at a restaurant, a Chinese food restaurant, and Cole is trying to get Max to face his fears and eat some spicy food. I'm a big fan of spicy food, and actually I ate some spicy tacos tonight. Lips were burning though. Like it was too hot for me. I thought I said mild, and they must have gave me medium or something. I don't know what I did, but they put something extra hot on it, and I was like, okay, I usually won't complain about this, but tonight mouth was hot. I'm watching that segment like, yeah, I'm feeling you guys right now with this. Mouth burning up, but I'm okay. I'm good. So they get into it. They wolf down some drinks after, and then he says, "Oh, that was alcohol." Did he say 100% alcohol? Like they're woo right into it, trying to explain everything that's happening. They're gonna hit a double clothesline on this guy, saying he looks like Sammy Guevara, the waiter. What'd you think of this segment? Not as good as last week's, but
99,000 MJF maniacs.
In the Saskatchewan Silverdome.
Saw him slam the over 600-pound Big Bill. Oh,
this sounds like some Dark Side of the Ring stuff. Get out of here.
So yeah, I've been okay with these segments. I'm very interested to see where this story goes. As far as Alex Marvez, I've noticed that Excalibur is trying to like layer in that he's like a sleuth, like an investigative journalist. Like that's his role now instead of just like a backstage.
They tried.
Yeah. And so I'm okay with it. The thing that I don't like, the thing that I love and that I don't love is when they put him on location, but then like he doesn't actually get to talk. So like when he was spying on them at dinner, they should have noticed him and he should have like interrupted before they like pushed him out instead of it just being him spying and the cameras like being pushed away. But like I love like when he just randomly shows up. And it's like, where the hell did you come from?
Yeah.
So
beat it, buddy. Beat it. So yeah, they tried with these. I'm trying to look at what else happened. Marvez was on the case again right after. He tries to meet him in their limo when they pull up. Like they already caught you once, bro. They're not gonna tell you. Then they call him a fathead idiot and stuff like that. All bullying tactics, and they keep it moving.
At least Don Callis did not get jumped by anybody before getting into the building.
This time. I like how they had security with him each time too, the same guy. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, this guy, this is Big Reno here. He'll mess you up if he needs to. He needed that in Mexico this week. Ugh, I felt bad for him. He just can't catch a break lately. Like he's got real heat, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Across the globe. Let's move into Dr. Britt Baker versus Kayla Sparks. All right, McKinney, thank you for joining us. Dr. Britt Baker DMD versus Kayla Sparks. This was a match, and I thought it didn't serve a purpose. Like, she won real quick. I'm glad. But I was hoping Britt Baker would get on the mic and say, like, I know the guys are getting their blood and guts match, but, there's been a lot of people getting really mad at the Outcast, kind of promo about it or something.
Yeah, there was nothing. This was...
And then in the back of my mind, I thought maybe this is going to relate to Cole and MJF. Zilch. Nada.
This was the only women's match on the card too.
Yeah. Man, someone said Jack Perry renames the title to the 90210 title. Please no. Jungle Boy is Ronda Rousey level, putting me to sleep. Woo. I didn't hear what she said on Raw, but it sounds like a lot of people did not care. I was feeling for it. So we get another backstage segment where it's the what is it, better than you, baby? I got us entrance gear. I got us ring gear. Oh, I got one more surprise for us, but you gotta wait. Don't do that to me. Don't do that. I love the little cheekiness of MJF. Some people have said they're not enjoying it, but what do you think, Beach? Like, are you feeling this?
I'm enjoying it. I don't know where like. I don't know where it's going, and that's what makes me like it. But if it, how do I phrase this? If it heads in a predictable route, I'm okay with it. But if the unpredictable route, which is them actually just staying a team, happens, I don't want that.
Well,
I don't want that at all.
What's predictable to you, though? What's the predictable route?
So predictable is that we get one of them turning on the other. And I thought we were going to get Adam Cole outsmarting MJF. Tonight makes me think that it will be MJF turning, like cutting Adam Cole off at the pass, but it's because of that whole title belt thing. MJF's too worried about his own belt. He could have a legitimate friend in Adam Cole, but he'll lose that because he's too worried that Adam's after his belt still.
I think that this should be the one time in the feuds where MJF is always trying to con somebody and do it. Adam Cole has beat him every step of the way. I'm going to slam his face into the cake. He knew it. I think that's the route they should go with this. No, anytime when MJF's going to finally turn on him, Cole knows it. and he catches him with the super kick. He's like, I got you. And the moment I get my rematch with you, you know you're cooked because I've stopped you at every piece of the way. The interesting person in all this is Roderick Strong, who was like, Adam, what are you doing? And I think in this too, I wouldn't have him turn on him just yet. I don't think they should do that where he's gonna become a heel or anything like that. I think Roderick Strong should stay with his friend because that's not what you would expect. Add that little bit of spice into the match. I think you could do some of that stuff with this. But that's how I see this going. A lot of people thought that they didn't see it that way, and I'm like, it's been obvious to me that Cole's gonna get the best of him when it's time.
But is it gonna be for the title?
I think he'll get his title shot, but I think MJF's gonna beat him though. That's my prediction, at least. Early prediction. Yeah. You heard it here first. Matt Lopez says women blood and guts would have been nice. Yeah, TK kind of went into that on the ROH media call about why. Yeah, why no. That can't happen. Probably because of all the injuries. Double clothesline love in the chat. I love it. Being injured probably canceled that match in the works, Terrell says. Alex Marvez is the TNA backstage team. Shaky cam and all. Women don't need blood and guts. Give me women's anarchy in the arena. Maybe one day we'll get that. I wouldn't mind that. Fire Alex Marvez. Someone said, I want Cole to leave Roddy in the dust. 670-pound mammoth. Me and my family were like, poor Roderick Strong. Yeah, Joe slammed him on that chair and he ain't been right since. Heel Cole equals the best Cole. I do prefer Adam Cole as a heel.
Yeah.
He's just slimy. He just comes off that way. But what if MJF and Cole do defeat FTR for the tag belts? I won't be mad. I will be.
I will be.
No, you don't do that, player. Not after what they did last week. Don't get me started on Collision. And I'm waiting for Jesus to come in here. Apologize. CM Punk didn't win. So when I'm wrong about Punk 2 weeks back to back, I can't get no love. I thought Joe was gonna win. Then I was like, all right, well, Punk's winning the whole thing then. Nope, I was wrong.
Now listen. I am upset about them turning Ricky to make Punk lose. That didn't need to happen. Didn't need to happen.
You got the heel right there, but who knows? And then Bobby Fish saves the day. Get out of here.
There's the lie.
Bobby can come back too. If he wants. Just eat some of that humble pie. So here's the finals for the Tag Eliminator tournament. We do not judge my boy Daniel Garcia. I know in this match he was doing some great hip thrusting. We even got a little dance off in this.
Oh yeah. All right. That has to be said. Something has to be said there.
Yeah. The head scissor and the dance off too was a little too much for me, Danny. What are you doing, Daniel?
I had a conversation with someone. It's maybe been a year where they were like, they're just copying WWE, right? Like they're just, and I'm like, no, there's plenty of differences. There's all this kind of stuff. And one of the things that I said, I was like, and you don't see them doing dance offs. Check that off the list now.
No, there's a difference though. WWE will make that an entire segment. They made it a little thing before the match because everybody likes dancing. They're having fun. Blah, blah, blah. I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it either. I laughed at it. I'll say that.
It's one of those moments. Okay, so like, how do I phrase this? I'm not going to say this was AEW's moment of this, but you know the term jumping the shark, right?
Right.
When people who loved Happy Days, when Fonzie jumped the shark, it wasn't that necessarily they were done with Happy Days. It was a people who, Happy Days is okay. It was like, what in the world has this show become? These kinds of moments, when it comes to these fans who don't watch WWE because of those kinds of moments, it affects. And I'm not saying that they can't be funny and they can't do stuff like that. I'm just saying you gotta be careful.
Let me say this though too, BJ, because I think people need to be careful of what they say. I think the criticism for AEW is at an all-time high right now. that I'm hearing on podcasts, different things. But when you're criticizing, I keep hearing be more like WWE, be more like, how come your game doesn't play like WWE? Man, I really wish we could do blood and guts in this game. WWE just put blood and guts in. How come you guys don't have it? And I keep hearing these little comparisons, just snide comparisons of things. And I'm like, you guys are going to be crying the blues then when they start copying them, and they're going to be like, well, the data shows that this is what you guys want. You're liking these videos and watching them, so this must be what you want. No, that's not what I wanted from you. You're getting what you asked for, so be careful. And thank you, Matt. I was going to say that to BJ. It is Shark Week.
That's good. That's good.
And Shark Boy better be in that Royal Rampage. Give me a shell, yeah. Love Shark Boy. Yeah, dude, I just think it's very weird for some of the stuff. So listen, I'm going with the flow. If I like it, I like it in AEW. If I don't, I don't. When WWE does certain things, I keep telling y'all why I get mad about it. They do things that don't make sense sometimes. I don't understand it. So Solo Sikoa, we talked about the Dominic thing earlier. Solo Sikoa couldn't be the NXT North American champion because I guess the match wasn't sanctioned and all that, blah, blah, blah. He's on the main roster. Isn't Dominic on the main roster? So why are you giving him title shots? That doesn't make sense. Like,
right?
Come on. And then people are feeding me these excuses for it. No, ridiculous, bro. No. Like, it just...
I'm big on continuity as well. And so when I don't get my continuity, it's frustrating. And that's what made me like drift away from WWE before like Vince had left and stuff. Like I was the furthest away from WWE that I've ever been at this time 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I keep up with what's going on now, but like even at that point, I didn't even care what was going on. Like I felt like I felt insulted to be a long-term fan.
Yeah. Yeah. Bro, I'll save my arguments and anger for another day with it. With AEW, watch what you say is all I'm saying. I think Tony's listening to the feedback. He's been incorporating different things a lot lately. So just be careful what you're asking him to do with me.
I'm one of these people that is very adamant of don't do what WWE does. Don't try to be like WWE because that's not what I want.
Yeah, but when he sees, oh, not a million, if I see that one more time on Twitter, like on Thursday mornings or Thursday after, no mil, ha ha ha,
it doesn't even matter. Like that number doesn't matter anymore. But people,
why do we care? Why do people care about ratings? Is what I'm trying to understand. I don't get paid for advertising. I don't care. Right. I just want to watch what I want to watch and enjoy it. That's it.
Yep.
And instead, people make it about something completely different. If your wrestling was better, you'd be talking about that, I would hope. But
I think the biggest thing, and this might be a subject for maybe you guys on Clash of the Podcast that you can watch on Mondays at 6:05. But it wasn't the ratings war that everybody talks about during the Monday Night Wars. It wasn't the ratings war that made WWF win. The fact of the matter is that people who bought Time Warner, the AOL Time Warner merger, didn't know anything about wrestling, didn't know how to do anything with wrestling, and didn't want anything to do with wrestling, so they sold it wholesale, basically. It wouldn't have mattered if they were the number one show. That network didn't want them anymore. That company didn't want them.
I think it was making money, but it couldn't make money in the umbrella of their rules of what they wanted to do, which is what I'm seeing in 99. Because when you had Ted Turner, he was feeding the beast money.
Mm-hmm.
But
and so
I was going to say, finish your point.
So that's what I was saying about the ratings is like the ratings honestly have never mattered. It's only been an asterisk of a statistic of knowing when the numbers changed. But that didn't mean that was when one company was going to go bankrupt. That's not how that worked. That's not how it ended up working. So now the ratings shouldn't matter. We have a guy who has money. We have a network who has money that can sustain it for years. So it doesn't matter if they don't hit 1 million. It's all about the pockets, and if it's number 1 or number 2 that night alone. That's what matters. So
I agree. And that's all they care about is what number did we do that night? Oh, we're in the top 3? I ain't got no complaints.
That's right.
E said they were losing 60 mil a year too. Yeah, that ain't helping. Especially
that doesn't help.
I don't want to think about 99 anymore. MJF and Adam Cole come out to the combined music. And this is why I'm wondering, was this all poking fun at WWE too? The music hybrid of 2 guys just thrown together. Then they're dancing out there doing the WWE things. And I don't know. I feel like this is just kind of like an audition or a ha-ha for both of them saying like WWE main roster didn't want us. Okay. I'm going to show you that we can do it better than you. And I feel like that's what this is. BJ, you can tell me if I'm wrong in a week or 2, but that's how I felt this was. It was more like, nah, I'm sticking it to you. You know what you did. You should have picked me. So they do their dance off. I won't get into it. They go for the double clothesline. Sammy's reversing into a Spanish fly. You would think that the guys in the group together would be able to work together, but we went into the whole, 2 guys in the main event are able to get the win. Panama Sunrise on Garcia. They call for the double clothesline. Daniel Garcia eats it. 1, 2, 3. July 29th, MJF and Adam Cole versus FTR on Collision. FTR come out for a face-off. Dax Harwood looked pissed. I don't know what was wrong with him tonight. I don't know what the deal was, but he looked mad. And then did you hear what he said when he looked into the camera? Next time you better play our music when we leave, Tony. I was just like, woo.
Yeah. He seemed, when that happened, he seemed legitimately frustrated. I know him and MJF were getting a little spicy with whatever they were saying.
Well, and they don't like each other either because of what we've talked about it in private. The podcast that Dax had at one point, we talked about the Pinnacle. The Pinnacle could have been great, and it seems squandered.
Yeah.
So, interesting.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I'm still adamant on FTR better win because that is a WWE move. That is a WWE.
Yeah, I don't know, Beach. I don't know, man. Like, I think the WWE thing to do tonight would have been to play MJF's music or the Cole and MJF music as they left out. And I think that's where I was like, okay, that's too WWE. For some people, they were like, don't you ever do that again to me. Like, we're the tag team champs. I just put on the banger match. Also,
Danny Garcia, man, he's got to get out of the pants. That's why he couldn't duck that double clothesline.
It's them TAPs, man, them tight ass pants. You got to get up out of them. It's great. It's good for the hip thrusting in Buffalo, but you gotta be able to get up out of that.
He can't wrestle in them.
I think that's the moment we know he's turned back when he starts wearing the tights again. Where do you want to see this Jericho thing go? Because Jericho was on commentary and they walked past Jericho like they were done with him too.
I think Jericho is joining the Callis. Even repeat this.
Garcia sniffed. I'm pausing for a second so that I don't get flagged. The yam bags.
Just put tag old yam bag Jones over there.
Oh my goodness! How did we start talking about yam bags?
I think Jericho is going to join the Callis family, but it's the weird turn of everyone left Jericho. Hager gave him back the hat. If he couldn't be up front and tell him no right then, now you see Sammy and Danny like walk past him. Well, you got what, 2.0 and Anna?
Yeah. And like I think Anna Jay should go with Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
If they want it, she could be doing something better. I think the JAS was too big. Like Hager with him, I'm totally fine with. That serves a purpose. even 2.0 kind of being like the lackey tag team for them, I have no issue with. But I think Garcia and Sammy are better than that. They could kind of be doing their own thing. I think Sammy graduated from it after the Inner Circle. He didn't need to go back, but I saw he needed to reset, though, after him and Ty got together. The TNT Championship got all weird.
Yeah.
So I saw the point of why they did it. And Garcia, I think, has graduated, too. They've been teasing that feud for a while, too, with Jericho. Jericho's been teased a lot of things, and I don't like that him and Don Callis are kind of like interrupting these teases. So I'm like, let's get to what's happening here with some of this.
I thought he was going to be the Shark. I thought Jericho was going to be the Shark tonight as the mascot and like cause some interference.
Let me see here. That deal with AOL hurt WCW True T, but they were doing books like Paulie allegedly. Listen, for what they sold the company for, as a business major, something smells funky. That's all I'm gonna say. You could have got way more for that than you did.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know who was in charge of that. I'm not going to insinuate. I don't think Vince would do anything that's unbusinesslike and make a dealing behind someone's back. Would he, BJ? He's never done anything bad in business like that.
No, never. That's all allegedly.
All right, listen, I can't read some of y'all comments. You better cut it out in here right now. Breaking news from NYC. Broadway may go on strike starting this Monday, joining WGA and SAG AFTRA. It's a good time to be non-union. Yeah. I mean, some people are going to get money out of this. I think the wrestling companies are going to possibly get some good money out of this if it continues for a long time. I'm sure
it could be just the top domino.
Yeah. So. I'm sure Don doesn't want to be attacked no time soon after this weekend. Yeah, no, he does not. We get something backstage. These segments felt very weird after this. Best friends, Darby Allin, Nick Wayne. Next week, Orange Cassidy's giving a title shot to Darby Allin, asked at the request of AR Fox. We couldn't have did a video for this or something. Like, even if it was from, like, the iPhone, like, I would have taken that before. Why is Darby asking for this match for his friend? Okay. Nick Wayne. Yeah, Nick Wayne's going to be in the Battle Royal with him. For I guess if you win the Royal Rampage, you get a shot at the TNT Championship. Mm-hmm. Best friends are going to be at the ROH pay-per-view. They're hoping to win the tag titles. What was this? Like, it just felt very rushed.
Yeah, and then the whole, like, best friends all in thing with Renee, just, like, I don't know. They just kept randomly saying Nick Wayne's name.
Yeah. Nick Wayne. That was the best part, was Orange. Yeah. Nick Wayne. Back to you, Nick Wayne. What? Yeah. Let's get into... Oh, and Statlander was there, too. So, for Rampage, we got Royal Rampage. Winner gets a shot at the TV Championship at All Out, it said. Chris Statlander is going to defend her title against Marina Shafir, the TBS Championship. QTV, that's John Morrison, Aaron Solo, and QT Marshall, who beat Pentagon in an ambulance match in Mexico. Unbelievable. Versus the Acclaimed and we'll just say Billy Gunn for the purposes of this video. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for saying his real name now. And then Collision Trios match, House of Black versus the Acclaimed. Do you want to telegraph what's going to happen on Rampage? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's they rush the week through, man. Like, on those segments, and yeah.
BJ, what's your favorite show of the week? If I ask you, what's your favorite wrestling show to watch lately?
Man, it's tough because I'm still gonna say Dynamite, but Collision puts on the better matches. It's just, this is gonna sound very weird. It's probably just for, like, my own, like, personal schedule and stuff, but I can't give every Saturday to wrestling. I can't. Like, I've got things in life that happen, and Sundays are normally like pay-per-views or what I've been conditioned to and whatever. I can't guarantee every Saturday that I'm going to watch, so I DVR it. So I watch back, but the show that I find out that I never miss is Wednesdays, is Dynamite. And
Interesting.
so I actually think that Collision matches have been better, but I still say Dynamite's my favorite show of the week.
Okay, I'm loving Collision more. And I'm stuck at home on Saturday, so I can't be out for the most part. Like usually I have to tell people like, no, I can't go here, I can't do this. Occasionally though, I do have weddings and things like that. I'm like, I knew I was missing like the second week of Collision. I was like, I have a wedding to go to. Sorry. That's what it's gonna be. Sick has a question for us. He says, favorite pay-per-view of the year so far.
Forbidden Door.
Forbidden Door, yeah. I'm biased because I was there live, so
I'm not being biased because I've actually watched all of them this year, and Osprey and Omega. Just
Six said, I'm gonna say Backlash. The crowd and matches were dope to my shock and delight. I think Forbidden Door was great. Like truthfully, like you had some matches on there that were okay or good, and everything else was banger. Like it was just great, like banger after banger after banger. Like I know that Sheamus punchline, but they were killing it that night. I was like, yo, even Danielson Okada was really good. And I was sitting there, I'm like, dude, I'm just so tired. Like I can't cheer, but I want to cheer because this is so good. And we were just done.
I will say Backlash is probably between top 3 and top 5.
Yeah. Backlash was a good show.
It was.
Six says you're at home, stuck at home on Saturdays, but you can't game with your boys. You gotta hit me on that late night message tip, bro. Fridays are tough for me now. You know, I gotta take the intern to Taekwondo, and you know, a lot of people keep saying he's gonna start beating me up soon. Knock it off. All right. Let's get into the blood and guts match. This match was it was here. It was here. It was the bee's knees. This is everyone who was involved. I don't know how you felt about this, VJ, but I liked the lineup. I thought it was cool that they added Kota Ibushi in there. It's the Golden Elite. All the friends are back together. You had the Blackpool Combat Club with 2 assisting members with Konosuke Takeshita. And I like that they didn't put him in there. I thought at one point they were going to put him in the Blackpool Combat Club, and they didn't go that route. So, and then you got Pac.
So I'm gonna sound like a hater.
Oh no, I am too. Oh, dude, this is gonna sound so bad in this. We talked about this in pre-show. We're gonna sound mean.
So this match is too long.
The match type or this match specifically?
The match type. And what I mean by that, is not the fact that it's, oh, of course we build until we've got 5-on-5. Okay. The whole point of us building until we got 5-on-5 is to make everyone exhausted. So that the last 2 fresh people, that's when you get in your big spots and you take it home. Not, okay, now we got 30 minutes of all 10 of us to fight. It just felt like it felt long, and all of them have felt that way. And I don't mean that in a bad sense of like I haven't enjoyed them. I have enjoyed them, and I've enjoyed the stories they've told, and I've enjoyed things that came out of them. But I could have got these same stories in a bit shorter, more hectic formatting of, oh, these last guys got in here. The match has officially started. At any moment now, a pinfall or submission or a surrender can happen because these guys have been beating the hell out of each other.
Right, and I think they followed the old school rules. I think it's only submission and surrender.
Yeah, but I mean, it even follows like this is why like the format works in thinking like you save your biggest, strongest guy for the last, because he can come in and pick the bones, or he can come in and stop the other team from picking the bones. But the point is by the time the last person for each team gets in the ring, everyone else should be spent. So there shouldn't be a whole lot of extra happening. You know what I mean? And I feel like every time we get to the 10-on-10, we're only halfway through the match then. And I don't think it should be that way.
Would it help if they sped up the time for you in what you're saying?
Yeah. Maybe, what is it, 3 minutes?
It's 5 for the first guys, and then it's 2 minutes after, I think, or 3.
Yeah, if they like made it 3 minutes for the first two and then like 90 seconds. That would maybe justify the extra. We're only halfway through the match, and here's 30 minutes of us absolutely destroying each other.
Right. I want my money up front. If you tell me to take a bump on a bed of nails, you ain't lying there. My issue for this match, BJ, stems not even from the match itself. I don't mind the match type. The psychology behind it, I agree with what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. About why are we wasting all this time? But we've only seen certain groups of people in these matches for the most part. Like most of them have been Jericho, or most of them have been with I'm trying to think of who else is in there, the Inner Circle guys, or who else has been in on the other side of some of these.
It's been the Blackpool Combat Club the last 2 years. It was the Inner Circle, and who was it the first year?
That's the one where it got switched. It was supposed to be Inner Circle and Elite, but that got flipped to something else. I can't remember who.
They had MJF in it because MJF was threatening to throw him off.
Yeah, Pinnacle versus Inner Circle.
Was that the very first one?
I think so. Because Sammy was doing all the crazy dives off of the ropes. I remember he did the double jump. Yeah, so I think it was the Pinnacle that got that first one because he turned on him around that time. So, yeah, I mean, listen, my issue is the booking of this, bro. What show was it where Yuta penned Omega? Was that the Anarchy in the Arena?
Yes.
After that, did the BCC beat them in anything?
No.
What in the name of backward storytelling is this? They just got whooped on. Right now, bro, the way I feel, BCC who? You're saying they're amateurs. You got beat by them every time.
Yep.
How am I supposed to feel about that? I don't know. Maybe Danielson can come back and save it, but at this point, I'm done. Like I said, I think the Elite have been wearing out their matches too. Like, I don't want to see Pac and y'all again. I don't want to see the Lucha Bros and you guys. You wore that match out and you wore this one out now. Now I don't want to see you guys face off against the BCC. I'm just done with it. Like, they lost way too many times. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... I think they're done. I think this is done. Finally. I have some other things about the match, but I will say this about the Bucks, the storytelling, the Elite, all that stuff. I think it's done. I think this is finally the end, which is what Blood and Guts is supposed to be, the end. But I think that the Elite, I've been thinking about this actually a little bit longer than just tonight. They find themselves in interesting situations because effectively all these top stars from the Blackpool Combat Club and from the Elite took themselves out of all title pictures for months now because of this. So how do we inject them back? And how does that disrupt things? And that's the thing. We've already done the 6-man with the Elite. So are we going to do that with the Young Bucks? Or are we going to do the Young Bucks back in the tag division? And how does that go? Because they haven't been competing as the Young Bucks in a regular tag in how long?
Yeah, and what do you think is going to happen if they say let us face FTR? That's going to open up a big problem box, in my opinion. And if they're going to, then it's going to turn into, well, who's going over?
Yeah.
And I told you, I think that they've missed out. And I think right now, and I still stand by this, FTR is the hotter tag team.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
So
it feels weird right now, but the elite feels like a unit. But when I hear the Young Bucks, I don't think of them as a tag team right now. I think of them as a trios or as a part of a group. I don't think of them themselves as a tag. So if you were to reintroduce them to the tag division, FTR feels more like the actual tag right now.
Right.
So.
And listen, we could get into this spot for spot, but I'm not going to do that. I want to get into some of these comments here. E said, y'all still think that phony list is real? They had turnbuckle power bombs and everything but the kitchen sink. I don't know if that list was true. I don't understand why people were doing that. And if that list is real, Tony's gonna have to start finding people like big money. Like, don't do that again. I don't know. Do you believe in that list? The whole like no spitting, no bleeding in the crowd, no buckle bomb.
I do, but I think it's all for the stage. Like, I don't mean that I don't think it's not authentic that they're putting that as their rules, but I think it's here's our rules. They're established now. We have them here. So now we can use them for plot points and storylines. Oh, he violated rules. You know, oh, Brian Cage just destroyed someone, but guess what? He knocked a fan's drink out of their hand. He's suspended for a couple weeks, so now he can't challenge for that title next week. You know, build it up like that. Oh, he did the pile driver and he didn't get clearance to do it or whatever, so he's suspended, you know, that kind of thing.
Got it. So you're thinking that this is used to work things as well now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or to add to the impact of them. Interesting. Yeah. I thought a lot of it was to cut down on the same stuff in matches too. Well, like we would see multiple destroyers, and now it's like you need to ask permission before you do a destroyer. What?
Well, I also think it's for the flow of the show as well. I think like with bleeding, that way, oh, tonight is this person's turn to bleed. Like, so it's more effective when this person's bleeding rather than if 3 people already bled on the show, it doesn't matter. Or if there was 3 table spots on the show, then it doesn't matter. Like, this is making it so each match has its own thing, which is better, I think, for the flow of a show.
Yeah, or you can get into the Moxley thing where Moxley thinks every match should have a little bit of blood or something should happen in it so that it feels like a real fight versus, but I don't know. I don't agree. I'm more of the you should bleed to make it matter when you want it to mean something. Can you have blood in more than one match on a show? Yes, but you know what I mean? Like, you don't want every single match to have blood in it either. The book you made, I think it's supposed to be BCC. BBC, don't Google that, kids. Look dumb even who they allow on their team. Yeah. Love the match. Would never nitpick times y'all need to buy attention spans. Them spots was dope. I don't have an issue with the time and how they did it. I agree with BJ on the psychology. Like, why are people not spent? Like, they're just getting up and it's like the match just begun when you close the door and they're like, here we go. I guess you want to see a little bit better selling. I can get into some of the Road Warrior stuff that I see sometimes where I'm like, bro, you should be in the world title division with some of the stuff I see you kicking out of. I won't mention who I'm talking about, but I'm just saying that there's some stuff where I'm like, bro, come on now. If I don't get moonsaults off the cage and Fight Forever, I'm going to riot. I think you will. I think you're going to get that bloody toe Cody Rhodes moonsault. Let me see. With Matt.
Yeah.
They're going to feud with Don Callis family next because that isn't done. I thought so, Deanna. I didn't get the finish of the match real quick. I guess should we talk about Coda in this a little bit? Coda came out. Coda did not look great
No,
in this.
no. That was going to be one of my points. Is this looked like?
To be fair to Kota, though, let me say this too, because I didn't want to make it sound like I took a dump on Kota Ibushi. Kota Ibushi has been off from the ring for a while. I've been told he's even still dealing with injuries. He's probably here as a favor. I get that. But this isn't Kota Ibushi of old. He seemed just a second off, a fraction off on some of the things.
Was the worst Kota Ibushi I've ever seen.
I'm hoping Kota will be back. I really want him to sign with AEW. Like if he has to pick one place to go, but I think he's not gonna. I think he's gonna go to the old Kota ways of I go where I want, I do what I want. Bye.
Yeah. The strikes, especially when he first came in, they were bad. They were bad. Having to sell dropping from one punch, and those punches looked awful. When he started swinging on Mox, like when he had Mox down, I'm sorry, but those look like someone who didn't know how to throw a punch, throwing punches. And I know he's better than that. I know. Like this, he seemed bulkier too. And I don't mean that like in a weight gain thing. I mean like he seemed like he was more built than I remember seeing him last too. Like it was, yeah.
Yeah, I swore I heard someone say he got hurt or something happened recently where they said he was still dealing with some injuries, some nagging injuries. So, like I said, I was just happy to see Kota Ibushi at the end of the day.
I'm glad he's there, but you know, the whole like meme of, hey, can we get Kota Ibushi? Oh, we got Kota Ibushi at home. Like we got the Kota Ibushi at home version tonight. Like I want Prime Kota in AEW. So let him heal up. Let him get there. That's what I want. So,
right. Or we can get the Young Bucks versus Golden Lovers. Oh, I don't think we're getting that. That would be fire, but I don't think so. Let me see here. Everything Pro Wrestling. Matt was going to throw Kenta into the crowd. Who Kenta? Who are we talking about? You mean Konosuke? Takeshita? Were they outside at one point? I thought he was out there with Yuta. Maybe
he was out there with Yuta, but I think Takeshita came and got him to get him back into the ring.
Did he throw him in the crowd? I didn't see that. If he did, he said, "Nah, screw psychology."
The crowd tonight, didn't they?
I don't. They
happen with Hook and Jungle Boy.
Yeah, they went into the crowd early on. So now I think we're going to see that earlier in the matches. Now we'll go into the crowd now, then we'll do our spot, and then we'll stay away from going out there. Screw psychology, go out there and destroy each other and do cool spots. Listen, I just want the matches to work and make sense. Like I said, I loved that 2 out of 3 falls match. It worked. It made a lot of sense to me, and I was just like, okay, I get this. Then we took the knee pad down. He needs to sink in the sharpshooter. I was like, okay, that's what I mean with the psychology. You can build it up better. I can have a long form conversation with you about what I mean sometimes with what they do. Kota only had 2 matches in the last couple of years during Mania weekend. Yeah, I wanted Kota to come here though and get like surgery or something. If he was hurt that bad, like come over here and get the surgery, bro. Kota Ibushi is beloved. Take care of him. Kota hurt himself training for the GCW matches. Probably couldn't work out because he booked at GLEAT. So that's probably close to back. Yeah. Ending was booty, someone said about this. Word was he got hurt a couple months back.
I'm going to disagree about the ending being booty. Because...
Well, the ending made me think 2 things, though.
Okay.
So Claudio doesn't have a Ring of Honor opponent. At first watching this, I'm like, it's going to be Claudio and Kota because everyone keeps saying, it should probably be Claudio versus Kota Ibushi for the Ring of Honor title. And I'm like, I could see that. And then when they got face-to-face with each other, the kicks to the chest when he had the sharpshooter locked in, I was like, okay, I could see that. But then the Pac stuff made me think, no, it's going to be Pac and Claudio. That's the match that they're banking on. But maybe you could do a triple threat. Chat, tell me what you would want to see for the ROH pay-per-view. I still vote for Chris Hero and Claudio to have a match, but that's just old school. That's just old school me. I I meant Yuta. Terrell said he clarified that Kenta comment. When Matt and Yuta were on top of the cage, he pointed at the crowd as if he was going to throw him into the crowd from the cage. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been something. But the argument against the ending not being booty.
Okay. Hit me up with it.
All right. I don't know how you feel about some language, but
we're an hour in now.
That little shithead finally got what was coming to him. And he needed Daddy Mox to save him. Now this is the one part I actually like was a highlight of enjoyment, not watching you to get the shit kicked out of him, but them bringing the violence. It was Moxley and then that brought out the glass, and then the Bucks were like, oh, we got the upper hand. Well, guess what? Now it's time to bring out the shoe with the thumbtacks and just destroy Yuta. Let's choke him out with the chain now. Like, it was like, like they can be nasty when they want to be, when they need to be. And so I liked that element of it. But also it was justice for Yuta getting some payback for all the stuff he's done. So
poor Yuta.
Now I wonder how Danielson's going to punish him for losing.
Hopefully it's not them rocks again, man. That was rough. Matt Lopez says nothing from TK was tweeted about ROH World Title yet. Most likely tomorrow during ROH episode on Honor Club, I could easily see a triple threat. E said all of the above. E about to turn this into one of them 1999 WWF six-pack challenges with the British Bulldog and the Undertaker and the homies all in there like, yeah, we'll all do it. Come on. If I had to pick one, I think Pac would probably be the best match they could do, but I really want Tony to make a deal with Kota or try to do something for Kota. Now, Kota training people, I don't know, man. Kota used to scare me in the matches with Naito. Like, yo, bro.
I was gonna say if we get Kota in AEW, at least he's safe from Naito until Forbidden Door 3.
Right, and then I feel. Don't do that match, please. Like, I can't see German suplexes on the apron again.
They're going to do it. They're going to do it. If Kota signs with AEW, he's facing Naito Forbidden Door. It's the only option.
E said, Yuta, my boy, never hurt nobody. Not my baby. Not my baby. I was wondering if there would be blowback on Mox for surrendering. So Moxley surrendered with Yuta. And then what Matt said earlier, I don't want to go all the way up for it. Someone said, oh, no, not Chris Hero. I don't know if you're trying to be funny. Oh, no. Oh, no. I love Chris Hero, though. He loves Wu-Tang Clan. Only thing I hold against him is that he likes Duke basketball. That's Derek's team. None of that. So the only thing that I didn't like, so Matt Lopez said after the match they shook hands. What?
Earn the respect for being dirty, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, if Matt or Chad, if you have any more word on that, we could talk about that at least. But I don't want to get in any spoilers for Rampage or anything like that. But what? Pac versus Claudio, Pac winning that, Terrell said. I don't know. And it hurts too, not having like dedicated ROH roster, so you don't know what you're getting, kind of. They can be nasty when they want to go over is more like it. He said, oh, terrible. No boo-boo face out here. Danielson's gonna punish him with the clothesline. He got that Terminator arm now. If I win Powerball, it was nice knowing you, chat. We will find you, BJ. We will find you. Six-pack challenge, sure. Bring back Bulldog, but it's got to be the jeans Bulldog. No. The best Bulldog is British Bulldog with the beads and the braids. That's it. That's the only Bulldog I want to see. Not no damn jeans Bulldog with the ruff, ruff, do with the socks sticking out in his WWF Attitude shirt. I guess they earned BCC's respect for matching the violence.
Just get them as a whole group together now that they're all friends. It's the Bloody Elite. Like,
yeah, the bloody elite. They should probably change the name though to like bloody. I was gonna say if they put Pac in the Blackpool Combat Club, he's just got to be from Blackpool now, so that it all makes sense.
yeah.
I'm not watching Rampage this Friday. I hear you. I always like the Royal Rampage. I like that little battle royal they did last year, so I'm kind of interested to see what they pull off here for it. But chat, tell us first off. Are you going to order the Ring of Honor show? Are you excited for it? Is there anything they can do to get you to buy it? Tell me what that is. Also, tell me what you scored this show tonight, and then we'll get ready to head on out of here. BJ, you working on anything good coming up here?
I'm finishing up the characters for the 2K universe. I got to send you over your guys and get the okay and get a few move sets, tweaked, but I've got all that stuff together. I've been working on some groundwork for a new podcast that mixes wrestling with random knowledge, if that makes sense at the moment. It will maybe later in time. And that seems to be my big lead-ins for anything outward right now at the moment. It's all a little bit of groundwork and some logos and crossing some T's and dotting some I's before I publish.
Okay. Well, we want to hear about it and everything.
I've also got to work on your guys' shirts. I've got to get those shirts done because
we need to let people know Derek's a hater. The player haters ball. It's got to happen. Ace went 6 out of 10 for this show. First one we got in. That's a little rough, I think, for it. I think the show was a little bit better than that, but I would go 7.5 maybe. I've been in the middle lately a lot with the AEW shows.
Yeah.
My last memory of the British Bulldog was on The Rock gave him rock bottom and dog poop. To that, I say the best people's elbow was in the church shoes, baby, when he did the slide. That's my favorite one ever. The dog poop. He says it's a thumbs up show from him. I'll say thumbs up as well. Matt Lopez says 7 out of 10 for AEW. EPW 10 out of 10, and I think I will order ROH Death Before Dishonor. How the card looks tomorrow during the ROH episode. What can they do to get me to buy the ROH pay-per-view? Yeah, revamp the streaming service and add some more content. All ROH and AEW related. Old shows and pay-per-views included. He said 5 out of 10.
All right, I'm gonna give AEW tonight. They get a large extra cheese Little Caesars, which I equate to be about a 7. Okay. They're not Pizza Hut quality tonight. But of course, this show is always the best Pizza Hut experience you could imagine. That's what EPW is.
Darn right.
Now, for Ring of Honor, no, I'm not buying the pay-per-view. Actually, I would suggest not that you're not going to see great matches, but just because you can watch it for option A, if it's a part of your cable for free. Option 2, you can watch it on YouTube for 25 cents. You should watch Impact Wrestling because they're doing some good stuff at Impact Wrestling. I'm telling you.
Finally, some positive.
Alexander is back. Everything gets better.
Yeah, that Nick Aldis, man, the more I thought about it, I couldn't believe I was all like, Aldis is going to win. But then I was like, nah, he can't. There's just no way. You can't take that belt off Shelly that fast. Things are heating up in Impact. And he just sent me a picture of Kota Ibushi's back. And yeah, Kota's that boy. That looks rough. And his hand. Yikes. Hold on here. I'm going to send this over.
Something was off. Something had to have been off with him. I didn't know if it... I haven't been keeping up after he left New Japan.
I think everybody's gonna have a piece of this, though. I just sent it to you on Facebook for it.
Okay.
Deanna's giving this a thumbs up. Mayans season finale is nuts. Don't say a word. I'm gonna catch up on it probably tonight or tomorrow. Damn, y'all just finished watching Wrestling with Shadows. These Bret Hart ratings, 4 out of 10. Final rating makes a childish fart sound. Impact is killing it, Deanna said. See, more positive Impact talk. That's what I like to see. Wouldn't watch Impact even if I had to spend a Canadian penny. Wow.
It's good.
Impact is still taping shows. It's good. It's good. They got something for you in there, I think. Don't sleep on Impact Wrestling. Hope they come back to New York.
I can guarantee you every time I watch Impact Wrestling, I always have something where I'm like, this is silly. But I also always have something where I'm like, that was cool. I like what's happening here. I get that in every show. And like, it's just like with AEW tonight, with the dancing and all that kind of stuff. Some people in our chat and everything, they really liked that. They thought that was funny. It was good. Where I wasn't a fan of that. That was that moment of, all right, come on, guys. For me, like I don't get that every AEW show. Sometimes in an AEW show, it's either, yeah, that was all good, or Like, I've had some moments with AEW. I don't think I ever watch an Impact episode where I don't have both a positive and a eye roll type of moment, which is at least making me feel something rather than it's just there. And that, I think, is good enough to be an argument that you should watch it. It's an hour long. Well, it's a little over an hour, but I'm talking without ads and stuff.
Here's something I've always said, that imagine they combine like Ring of Honor and Impact's rosters and let like Scott D'Amore and someone else book it together that could get along. You would have a banger of a show. But
absolutely.
Two different visions though sometimes too. Like, I think Impact does get into the videos and they get into like the sci-fi type stuff sometimes that may turn people away. And back in the day before Ring of Honor was bought by Tony Khan, it was a little bit more like wrestling.
Yeah.
We're wrestling. Mm-hmm. Headlock, wrestling. We're wrestling. Yeah. Turnover. Mm-hmm. Headlock. Scoop slam. And that could be a turnoff for some people too when you're trying to attract new people. Right. I feel like AEW is like the balance in between. Like, you're going to get some wrestling. You're also going to get some silliness. It's going to be fine. We can do a little sci-fi. They try not to.
Right.
Six said, didn't like the dance routine. Don't be giving me Funk is on a roll flashbacks. By the way, they definitely need to give Cat that theme for the WCW shows, because that music they give him is awful on the dub overs. I'm glad Trinity finally won. Me too. AEW dancing, Alex Wright dancing. You can't go wrong with Alex Wright now.
Nah.
Naomi's pulling eyes to Impact. I ain't mad at it. Alex Wright had moves for that era. Nick Aldis should have won against Alex Shelley. They're pushing overrated Alexander again. Woo, harsh take. Josh is so good.
He is. He's incredible. I would love to have seen him and TNA Kurt Angle. I'm trying to be nice and not call it Perk Angle, but TNA Angle against Josh Alexander. Oh, that match would have been phenomenal. So, yeah.
out comes Hornswoggle. Or Swoggle, excuse me. He said, pre-TK ROH was boring as hell. I mean, it depends. Hold on. He said a little sci-fi. People get popped on Impact. They got Eric Young clone right now. I heard the real one got popped.
No. When you die in Impact, you respawn in Impact just later. It takes a while. Yeah, it takes a while. Eric Young, he was in a faction. He got killed off. All of a sudden, guess what? He came back. He's a part of Team Canada like he was all the way back in the day. This might even be a different timeline, Eric Young.
See? Yeah, they get a little out there. I will admit, with some of the stuff with it, but I enjoy Impact for what they provide. Yeah. Like I said, I put Josh against anyone right now. Josh is up there for like best wrestlers right now.
Yes,
Wrestling Machine Kurt Angle, yeah, he was a beast too. This is ROH is like WWE's version of ECW. Woo. He's a BJ stop.
I don't know. I don't know if this ROH is that bad, but I also will give the counter argument that we haven't given it enough time to know. It's still too new.
Yeah, it's still too new, and I want to see what TK, how we can freshen this up. If we're going to 12 pay-per-views, like the rumor was this week, expect Blood and Guts to be on pay-per-view from now on. And if you don't like Dynamite now, if you think the matches are boring now, your matches are going to get dumbed down more if they do it the way I think they should. Multiverse pay-per-view coming up. Yeah, that's another thing I like that Impact does. They give you a lot of that good stuff too, like just combining it. You end up in the underworld, you got to get Father James to get you to come back. See? Got to make a deal with the devil. Jukes at night. Have a good night. James Mitchell, all the one you guys know. Who's that Karate Kid, the one dating Vita Scott? He's pretty good. Mike Bailey. Mike Bailey's awesome.
Speedball Mike Bailey.
Speedball Mike Bailey. But listen, everybody, I'm going to get out of here. Let you guys get out of here. It's late. We kept you guys up. We were talking Blood and Guts. We had BJ on. We were having a good time talking pro wrestling. Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the pod. Make sure you check out BJ, Run the Ropes, RTR. He's got some good stuff coming up. I'll be retweeting it. Just tag me in it, BJ. I'll retweet anything.
Well, dude, thanks for having me.
I thank you. People are saying Speedball is phenomenal. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you all for joining tonight. Like, comment, subscribe. We are out for this episode of Everything Pro Wrestling. We will catch you guys on the next one.
Everyday pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast for the people, the best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin, the opinions, the lesson, yes. By the fans, for the fans, not many in this can understand, this the podcast to show you who I am, Conrad Cushman, the legend in the plans, please listen every day to the showcase, the opinions and knowledge that anyone can take, showing you how it is done, proving I am number one, what a legend becomes. This is now my time to show you that I am here. This podcast just to make it loud and clear. By the fans, for the fans, not many who's here can understand everything pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast here for the people, the best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin, the opinion and the lesson, yes. Everyday pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast for the people, the best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin, the opinions, the lesson, yes.